Well, number one, I think teamwork is sort of probably, we're no better sport. We go backwards for one, so we don't see where we're going. Number two, you have to follow what another person's doing, and synchronicity and timing is everything in our sport. If you don't get that right, you're not going to win races. So teamwork in our sport is absolutely key.
And it's funny. For people who don't row, and people who do row, you are locked in a boat with everyone. You can't jump out and walk off and grab a drink like you can at a rugby training or netball training. Or you're literally stuck there. And then the boat the way the boats are and they move, and you're not moving through air, you're moving through water. So the reactions, you must work together. And then obviously if you go to the performance side of that, you're far faster, more efficient. The more in sync you are, the more easy speed that you'll get, and then you'll get full pay for the effort you're putting in, and you work so hard for that fitness, that technical side of things and moving together. If one person clocks off, it's gone. And so it's a beautiful sport for that reason. Something about being at one with a number of other people and with the water and with nature it's quite incredible, and you have to probably experience it to understand the full, why are these guys doing that to themselves. And you have those unbelievable moments during a season that make it all worth it. So,
and I think I've seen very successful crews who have the best of the statistics on paper. They're the strongest, they're the fittest, they've got the best run ergo machine scores, they're the best in the gym, but for some reason they never win races. And so teamwork is not just about training hard and doing the miles and saying that you've got the best scores and everything. Teamwork is about knowing those that are in your crew or your team, really getting to know them. And that might be the little 1%ers, and that might just be asking how people are, not being afraid to check in with them, being that little bit vulnerable and showing that little bit of empathy. Because if you don't show that you can be a little bit vulnerable, you're never going to have trust and respect in your crew or your team or whatever it is, and not just in sport. But for rowing, when you're sitting on that start line, you need to know that the guys that are in front of you, or the girls that are boys that are in front of you, behind you, or the clocks that's steering you, you have absolute trust and respect in what they're going to do, and you know that they're going to deliver on the day. That they're not going to be worrying about what the other crews are thinking, or they're worried about just getting to the finish line. They know that they're sitting there and they are ready to go, and they're going to do it for you because you're going to do it for them. And that doesn't come from just on the day. That comes from preparation, that comes from training consistently together. But number one, it comes from knowing your teammates. And it's just not, oh yeah, we're mates and we're crew mates. It's more successful teams and successful teams that do well. And you know those. They present it, they show it, they're connected, they're tight, they look after each other, they're in one unit. And that's why there's great teams in the world, not just great rowing crews. You look at all great teams, they're the 1%ers. They leave no stones unturned, and there is a reason why they are successful. Not just because they've got the best of the best in every different facet. You have to voice what you want to achieve together, and you need to let everyone have a voice, not just one person driving it, because I believe everyone has a position on a team and everyone needs to have a voice.
Everyone brings different things sort of to the boat, and Kings doesn't work like we don't put our best athlete in stroke seat and then everyone's sort of back from there. You know, everyone's got different attributes in the boat. So I could just go through our boat. So our bow man, Waylo, he's a fiery little fella. He's the lightest bloke in the boat, and he's got a better 2K than mine. And he sits at the back of the boat, and you know, there's a technical side of things as well. He's a short little fella, and he can just get it in and get on it really quickly. And then I think our 2 seat for head of river was Will Rogers. He's actually in year 10. He pulls a 6.19 2K, and he's a bit of a psycho. He is extremely tough mentally, as he's like a year 10 bloke, just killing it. And yeah, he sits up in 2-seat, and then the technical side of 2-seat and bowman is to sort of set the platform for the boat and send the rhythm back up to the front. And he is also nice, short and powerful, and gets on it really quick. And now 3-seat, I think it was Felix Lay. He was a huge part. Like he's without a couple of he's quite a prominent figure within the boat. Even though he's sitting in not the most important seat, within 3-seat, he is very outspeed. Like when it's tough, he's the one to sort of fire the boys up and grab us by the necks and keep us going, sort of thing. And then 4 seats, the long, powerful bloke. So I think it was Stano in 4-seat, and Stano's about 95 kilos, carries centre fourth, and he's huge, extremely powerful, and he also is a great dude to have in the middle of the boat because he's just so powerful and huge. And then a 5-man was Rory Menzies. He's got the best 2K, like 6'14". He's about 6'7". No, 6 foot. I don't know, 5 something. Sorry, 6'7". He's 6'5", and he's just really long and powerful on the bow side, and he's good to back up sort of the 6-seat, 7-seat stroke seat. And anyway, so I'm 6-seat. I'm just quite long, I think. That's the reasoning for putting me there. Nice and long and rhythmic in the 6-seat to transfer the stern pair's rhythm back to the rest of the boat. And then 7-seat, pretty big part of it. He is Mac Bucknell, and he's extremely powerful sort of dude. He's a very pretty rower, very rhythmic, and he follows our stroke man Dimitri Duda, who's also a bit of a psycho. He is just, when we're coming down and it's like last 250 and we're sort of sitting on a 36, or like even the last 500, he'll start screaming and then bumps up to like a 42 or something to 1 through the line. So without Dimmy, the boat doesn't go very well because he's just an animal and like extremely powerful and tough and can just go all day. And then our Cox, Larry, without Larry we wouldn't have won the last 2 years because he is just amazing, like extremely good. It's probably a bit of adversity with Laz this year and what he's sort of gone through, but the whole crew's sort of gone through it. But Larry is pretty ruthless, as everyone probably knows now, and holds us all to a really high standard, and without Laz we wouldn't be the rowers we are, really, because he's very, very good, and good dude, really good dude. But yeah,
in preparation and in training, I've got a role and a responsibility. I own my seat, and what do I need to do for my crew members around me, and what have I done in preparation in training, in pressure situations, and then executing at the Olympics.
Why we are so close is the hardship and the adversity we've faced together, and like how we've been, I don't know, I've been rowing with these guys for about 3 years, and the amount of pain and hurt and sacrifice we've put ourselves through is something that I don't share with anyone else but those 9 blokes, because like the sacrifice and the vulnerability of going out and just absolutely like getting right on the edge and living on the edge, and then going over the edge and collapsing on the floor with your mates or something when you've absolutely done is something that is just, I think, is huge. And I think that's when you get the most out of a friendship or something, when you're quite vulnerable and you put it all on the line for something. And without getting vulnerable or going as hard as we did to head a river, there was no way we would have won.
We spend 24/7 together, literally, like it's day in, day out. Everybody has to be close. If you have to work as a team in the boat, so you have to have that bond in off the water.
I think mentally, that because you have to do that in reality, it then there's something it does without, it's not even intentional, that it brings people into a mindset of working together and of being crewmates. And so you don't need best friends to be in the boat together. You just need people who respect each other, who had a shared history, you know, with the journey of the training, and yeah, it's just it really brings people together.
As a crew, you have to connect, otherwise you just don't go well. There's no way to win a race, win ahead of the river, if you don't connect as a crew, and it's a simple fact. In our boat, this year, last year, there are a couple people who I'm really close with and a couple people who I'm not so close with. But as soon as you get in that boat, you are there for everyone else. You're there for your coach, you're there for the 7 other rowers and your coxswain.
It's a community. You come in, you're all new, but you race for a couple of seasons, and I mean, next thing you'll get in your underpants frozen at rowing camp.
We see each other, 4:30 in the morning, or late at night, or when you're losing or when you're winning. And so at some point in the season we end up spending more time with each other than we do our actual families. And so it's like, well, you have been through so much together, and you have spent so much time together, and you've worked together, and you've worked really hard together. So you just have this connection, you have this bond because of it.
When it comes to issues on and off the water, if there's altercations at school, you get to the shed and that stuff is just, it's gone. It's not important, because this isn't school life. This is rowing life. This is our sport, and this is a lifestyle for us. Our goal is to win. That's all. Yeah. So if something happens in the boat, as soon as you're off the water, actually as soon as it's happened and everyone's had their hissy fits, it's just get out of it. It's on to the next thing. It's the next job. It's the next race. If you have a bad race, it's not about dwelling on the past. It's like if you mess up your start or you come last, it's not about going, oh well, we came last, we suck. You guys are horrible. I did everything right. You guys did everything wrong. Nothing's my fault. I know what you did right and wrong. It's not about that. It's about going, okay, what happened? Talking to your coach who watches your race, talking to your cox who can see everything that happens. What happened? How do we fix it? Let's go out there and race harder and do better. It's simple as that. You don't take external or even internal factors on and off the water and make them a problem in the boat shed, because the boat shed is about a community, it's about a culture, and it's not about having problems.
I guess the biggest thing, obviously there's an element of the best athletes end up in the higher crews, but the biggest thing we look for is that work ethic, that respect of each other, and commitment.
Shared qualities I see in rowing is hard work, number one, I would say, because it's not easy. Our sport is one that sort of takes time. There's a lot of hard sort of physical work that goes into it. Definitely teamwork and mateship, as we touched on before, that is a key to our sport. And I probably think that it's also sort of that confidence and being able to, the ability to back yourself. You sit on a rowing machine and you're going really, really hard, and it's hard, but you get to the end and you get off the rowing machine and you say to yourself, I just did so well. Isn't that the best confidence booster ever? You give yourself a big pat on your back, or your crew. You do things that you never thought were possible, and you cross that line, or you do a really good session, and that feeling that you create together, that's teamwork, hard work, but also that sort of a camaraderie as well.
If I know, I can see that someone's done that, then that's a connection right there. That's knowing that these guys are going to work hard for me, I'm going to work hard for them, and that's how we're going to win.
Often we have smaller guys who are just so committed, so dedicated, and they make it in there. And we love that, and we actually try to reward and recognise the commitment, dedication, and discipline sides of things, because we believe at Kings that rowing is an avenue for us to help develop characteristics that will help boys in all aspects of their lives, and certainly respect, commitment, discipline, teamwork, and selflessness. All those things feed into anything you do to make you really successful. The stronger we get, we had a lot of depth this year, and we had boys in the 3rd and 4th floor who were absolutely some of the leading kids in terms of attitude. And so, they're crucial to the shed, and they rub off on the first 8 guys and the second 8 guys just as much as their other crewmates. So across the whole shed, and particularly as them setting an example to the Year 8 and 9 quads, it's not the outrageous talent.
But yeah, the funny moments happen off the water more.
Yeah.
It's the chats that you have, the things you find out about each other, but the things you find out about your coaches. We have some chats with our coaches, and we find things out, and it sends you off the cliff. Like you just laugh and laugh and laugh, and there's nothing better than that.
Loud. They're so loud. Constantly being absolute idiots. No, they are seriously a family. Like, you come into this sport and you have a second family.
Just make sure we put it at the top, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have the intel, yeah, that everyone else won't have.
Not funny.
My
I
it's
don't
bad,
know
I'll
your
take that.
jokes are jokes.
Please laugh.
Okay.
You're terrible. So,
Is that stay here?
yeah, just say
Okay.
that. Yeah.
I'm scared I got me. What was I saying?
Down all of your. That's all out of the way, right? I haven't heard.
Yeah, that's going in.
Yeah.
And can you my pen?
It's for NYP.